Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Beretta 9mm USA here, and we've got another new Smith & Wesson revolver for you. This is the Model 19. It is a classic 4-inch K-frame revolver, and we shot over 200 rounds of Sig Sauer Elite Performance ammunition during this test. And this revolver, just like many other Smith & Wessons we've tested, was fantastic.
Alright guys, here is the Model 19 Combat Magnum. This is the K-frame Smith & Wesson revolver. This is my Dr. Loomis gun. You guys know what I mean? It is 6-shot, and we have it loaded with 357 Magnum 6 Sauer Elite Performance ammunition. Here we go, first shots. Super fine trigger on this thing. The Neomag Rask, right here. Little single hand action right there. The Smith & Wesson Model 19 Classic is also known as the Combat Magnum. So this revolver is a 6-shot K-frame size Smith & Wesson revolver. It is chambered in 357 Magnum, and you can also shoot 38 Special or 38 Special plus P through this wheel gun.
We're using a Sig Sauer Elite Performance 357 Magnum ammunition. It is 125 grain, and it's traveling at 1450 feet per second, so it's moving out pretty good. Okay guys, the Smith & Wesson Model 19, shooting all 357 Magnum through it today. These will be my first rounds. Nice.
Good job.
Reloading with the Rask. The Neomag Rask. 2 at a time. Then after you reload, just drop it to the ground.
So let's go over some of the updates that Smith & Wesson has made to the K-frame revolvers. First of all, and this is very important, they added a ball bearing detent right here in the frame area that locks up into the crane. You can see a cutout right here on the crane itself that the ball bearing locks into. So that increases the overall lockup of this K-frame revolver to make it stronger and more reinforced overall. Another thing they reinforced on this revolver is the forcing cone itself. Look at how thick the barrel sleeve is right here in the frame on this K-frame revolver. So the forcing cone in this revolver is never going to crack. So with this updated forcing cone, this revolver is made to handle a steady diet of 357 Magnum ammunition. Another change they made to this model, as far as the Model 19 in this version, is it has a new sleeved barrel design. You can see the barrel right there. The barrel itself is made out of stainless steel, and it has a melanite type finish to it. The sleeve itself is carbon steel. So the rest of the revolver, other than the barrel itself, is carbon steel, and it's finished in this blued finish. Another reload of the Neomag Rask. Now offhand, which is right hand for me. I was going to say I shot him 6 times right there, but I only had 5 out of 6. Neomag Rask. Just strip away. It's a great tool to reload your revolver. You carry one day to day.
Guys, the weight on this new Smith & Wesson Model 19 comes in at 37.2 ounces. So that is a good amount of weight, and it does help in controlling the muzzle flip of this 357 Magnum. Also the recoil, the perceived recoil that you have as a shooter. It is quite nice to shoot with, no question about that. Fantastic. Now I'm reloading out of my back pocket. This Smith & Wesson revolver comes with a half shroud for the barrel, which protects the full-length ejector rod right there. And that full-length ejector rod helps get those spent cases out very nicely.
Alright guys, let's go over the sights on the Smith & Wesson revolver. It's traditional Smith & Wesson in that you have a red ramp front sight, you have serrations down the top strap and the barrel shroud to reduce glare. You also have a matte black finish here that's like a bead blast almost, but matte black to reduce glare along with the serrations. You can see the difference in the blued finish compared to the matte up top. And the rear sight is a square notch profile that is adjustable for both windage and elevation. Very nice sight picture on this Smith & Wesson revolver. Just got to line up those charging holes when you're loading it. Jesus, this thing is so hot, it's burning my hand. Here we go.
Very nice, man. Great job shooting it. All 357 Magnum, guys.
Yep.
That's two fantastic Smith & Wessons you brought out today. Both of them. Just awesome. The Model 19, guys, and 357 Magnum.
Alright guys, let's talk about one of my favorite things to talk about on a Smith & Wesson revolver, and that's the frame and the grips on it. These are Altamont grips that replace the stock grips with. These are the stock grips. They're decent overall, as you'll see here. They have a nice little checkered pattern here and the diamond in the middle. Smith & Wesson medallions on both sides. They look great, but my problem with them is this. If you look at the seam line here on the grips, they have a really bad seam to them, and it's very present when you have the grips on the revolver. So that's a miss in my opinion on these grips, so I replaced them with a set of grips that I had laying around. Another set of Altamonts here, and these are perfect. They don't have a seam to them at all. They're just very well executed, and they feel amazing in the hand. These grips overall do have a target profile, which is a grip style that I personally do prefer. But again, the seam really does bother me, so I changed them out. The grips here on the revolver that I put on it do an amazing job as far as helping control recoil, and they feel amazing in hand. I really love these grips. So from the grips here, let's also talk about the fact that this revolver has an exposed backstrap. Having an exposed backstrap like so allows you to get further up on the gun and allows you to get to that trigger and control it fully in double action. I love exposed backstraps on the revolvers, and the Smith & Wessons just do it right. The overall look of this gun with these grips on it, in my opinion, make it look more classy and like an old school Smith & Wesson revolver, which is of course what this revolver is hearkening at. Neo Mag Rask. Benefit of the Rask is also you can get those two empty casings out of this and top the revolver off. If I can pull them out. There we go. So take out your speed strip, top it off during a lull of a gunfight or whatever, and then you're ready to go again. Those 6 shots. Alright, here we go. 4 more rounds. Should I time it right? Yeah.
Nice work, man.
Yep. And this thing is tight, you guys. Oh my god. Look at how tight that lockup is. It doesn't even move the cylinder. This thing is just super high quality.
I noticed that. Very nice. Both those new Smith & Wessons. The trigger on this Model 19 Classic is very good. We have kind of gotten used to that with all of our Smith & Wesson revolvers, and this one is no different. Double action trigger pull right here. Very nice.
Very smooth and consistent.
Yeah, it almost feels like butter. This one actually has a very nice trigger, guys. Very consistent and actually almost breaks faster than you think it will. And I don't think I've ever said that on a Smith & Wesson revolver. I mean, it just pulls right through. Very nice on the double action. The return spring, as you just saw 20 times, very fast, right? Look at that. Okay, so we really like that. Kicks it right out there to it. Single action. Very nice and close and tight to the frame. Notice when my finger starts pulling on it, it doesn't move at all, and it just breaks.
How's the lockup on this revolver?
Wow, the lockup on this is even better than the brand new 586 Classic, which I thought was tight. This thing doesn't move at all. That may be the tightest lockup on any revolver I've ever seen. Very nice work on this one. It is tight. It's a great revolver, guys. So we've been shooting all 6-hour 357 Magnum in these Smith & Wesson revolvers. Here's the slow way of reloading, which we did for a couple years. So there is a big difference in the reloading, guys.
I call it the Dr. Loomis way.
So these will be the last rounds out of this Smith & Wesson Model 19 in 357 Magnum. And now 2 at a time from the Rask. So I don't know, we can time it I guess, but it does seem a lot faster.
It is.
That's it. Absolutely flawless. Another perfect Smith & Wesson revolver, guys. No issues, no problems. All 357 Magnum. Over 200 rounds per revolver. There's brass all over the place. And these things want more. It's a fantastic revolver. The only one I liked better today was the 586 Classic. So if you have that revolver, boy, that's fantastic too. Now back to the tabletop. All right, guys, in conclusion, this Model 19 Classic is a superb revolver from Smith & Wesson. We have been very impressed with several of their models. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know we are Smith & Wesson fans for sure, but you've got to step up to the plate and bring a awesome product or the review is going to be different. This is another awesome revolver. If you don't have a revolver, this is another one for you to choose from. We did not like the stock grips this time. that came on it, and it's not the look of the grips. So for those of you that say that we never dislike anything from Smith & Wesson, we didn't care for this.
And it's just because of the seam, you know, on this particular revolver. You know, if you pick up a revolver at a gun store, make sure you look at the grips, make sure they're perfect.
Unless you just don't care if then there's a good picture of it, how badly the lines show and what their little gap is. You can see that right there. This is a very nice camera, and it does a good job. So you can see the gap right there. That's not something that I've seen on very many Smith & Wesson revolvers with the stock grips, but if you see one like this and that bothers you at all, then you'd want to take a pass on that specific one. But in general, this thing is fantastic. Of course, we changed the grips. It's super tight. It shoots very well. It's well built. It'll last a lifetime. And for that lifetime of use with the revolver, the price is $826.
And that's MSRP. So you can find it more like around $730, maybe $750 or $700-ish.
And for that price, to finally add a revolver to your collection, we think you guys would just love it. It shoots terrific. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Between this one and the 586 Classic, which was my favorite, both of those, top notch, guys. The 586 was my favorite. I think young Beretta favors this one a little bit more, but they're both just tremendous revolvers. This one came with a what, 4.25 barrel?
Yeah, it's 4.25 inches.
So a little bit more barrel maybe on this one. But the Classic also absorbs recoil like nobody's business. It was a fantastic revolver too. So check out those Classics when you get a chance, the Model 19 or the 586. We think you guys would love either one of them. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you like this Smith & Wesson Model 19 or anything else available from Smith & Wesson, go ahead and go to their website and check out their products. As always, everyone, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Beretta 9mm USA, and support us on Patreon for more guns and gear videos coming up in the future.